Welcome to your Daily 5 for Wednesday, August 27th, 2025. After talking with Lando about the Superman 2025 movie, which he also did watch and definitely had a better time with than I did, we were talking about it a little bit, and Lando said something to me along the lines of, it was something like that he thought that my reaction to anything popular was to reject it. Something along those lines. And I didn't necessarily take that as a criticism, but when somebody says something about me, I do try to give it due consideration. And I thought, is that the case? Is that why I've enjoyed older B movies? Am I just not wanting to engage with anything that's popular? And so I thought about it for a little bit, and I very quickly came to the realization that no, it's not that, because I looked back at some of the reviews that I've done for the show, and there are several in there. Now, when I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, I've rented $20 new movies. Longlegs, very popular. Watched it, liked it. I saw the TV Glow. Excellent. A lot of people liked it. I liked it. What's the other one? There was a third one. Oh, man, I can't remember now. But there's at least 3 newer films that, The Substance. Substance was, everybody was talking about The Substance. Everybody. And watched it. Really enjoyed it, right? Now, what I will say, and this is what I figured out. It's not the popularity part. That's not what it is. The thing that does repel me is when everybody is saying that I should like something. That's a different idea than popularity. Something can be popular, and you're not being told you should see it. It just is popular for whatever reason. But when everybody's saying, oh no, this is the thing you have to like. This is, if you like X, then you have to enjoy this. And people do say things like that. Reviews are written that way. It was kind of like the same reactions I was seeing around Andor, which I still have not watched and will not watch because I don't want to watch a series that's a bummer. So I don't care how good it is. I don't want to watch it. But there were numerous reviews saying if you grew up as a Star Wars fan, you have to watch Andor. You're missing out. All this kind of crap. That I don't like. That makes me just avoid whatever it is. I'll immediately cop to that. That's what it is. It's not the popularity part. Popularity doesn't have any effect on me as far as making me want to or not see something. Now, certainly, if everybody is saying something is awful, I'm not going to necessarily be in as much of a hurry to see it, although Lando and I watched Megalopolis and we had a lot of fun with what a lot of people said was one of the most confusing and terribly made movies they'd ever seen. So that's not always true either. But I really did think about it because I was like, well, maybe I do have that kind of blinders to something popular. But I don't think it is that. I think it's this idea that once there's a groupthink established around something, that yes, I am less likely to engage with it for a long while to see if that hype or whatever you want to call it, that buzz around whatever that product is, does it last? Or does it suddenly, 3 months later, people are reevaluating it or whatever? Because that's another thing. You notice a lot of opinions now change over time. That's why things are being reassessed, reevaluated. They're getting a second chance, second due. It's because people are just, opinions change. People change. Things in your life change and make you respond to things differently. But it is true. I will admit that if I'm being told I should like something, then my first response is to avoid it. Not to tear it apart, but just not to engage with it. And I'll be honest, I think that's a pretty good attitude for everybody to have. If there's a bunch of people that are telling you should think a certain way about something, you should be suspicious. I'm not saying, again, don't be anti whatever that is or pro. Just figure out whether that applies to you. Because that happens a lot more than I feel like it did when I was younger, where there's this idea that everybody's got to be on board with the same things. And that can be good in some cases. It can be bad in some cases. But I don't think that a immediate reaction to such a concept being to stop and evaluate, I don't think that's a bad thing. If that's what it is about me, I'm okay with that. But I really don't think it's that I just don't like things that are popular. I don't think that's really true. I do think that I tend to kind of stop and wait when I'm being told that there's a certain direction I'm supposed to go in. So, I don't know. Maybe other people think that that's a bad thing, but I have to be honest. When I consider that, in my mind, that's a positive. Later.